Just ahead on CTV News, a deadly virus hits the local animal shelter. Plus, the rise of respiratory illnesses bring back mandatory masking in some hospitals. Honoring Martin Luther King through a day of service and giving back. And weed sales and gambling bring big profits for Maryland. That and more up next.
Good evening. This is CTV News for January 12th. I'm Taylor Thomas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Well, Maryland's top leader says he believes in the premise and the promise of the blueprint plan for Maryland's future.
Earlier this week, CTV asked Governor Wes Moore about complaints from local jurisdictions regarding the high price tag to implement the program.
I know that there are local jurisdictions that are having challenges when it comes to the incorporation. And a lot of those things, the challenges are real, where we have a blueprint that was created before we knew what COVID was. We had a blueprint that has now gone through a few different superintendents that have tried to implement it. And we had a blueprint that did not have the cooperation from my predecessor. And so I believe in the premise and the promise of the blueprints, and I plan on working in collaboration with the legislature to make sure that it is properly implemented, but it's implemented in a sustainable way.
And the blueprint legislation passed in 2021, it includes comprehensive changes to the state's early childhood education program and public schools. It also increases education funding by $3.8 billion each year over the next 10 years. Well, Prince George's Animal Management Facility in Upper Marlboro remains closed after a virus spreading in dogs caused 30 deaths this week.
Really something out of the norm for the facility. In this sort of environment, in a public kennel, you're going to get a lot of animals coming and going at all times. So there's going to be different things that are generally circulating, but this wasn't something that we had seen before. And it was very apparent we needed to shut down the facility immediately.
Strep zoo is a respiratory infection that is highly contagious and mostly fatal in dogs when it's not caught early. Officials say the infection has spread across the country and is especially dangerous in animal shelters where many animals are in close contact and under high levels of stress. To catch the virus early, you should seek veterinary care for your dog if it shows symptoms like sneezing, nasal discharge, difficulty breathing, low energy, fever, coughing blood, or vomiting.
Parents in Bowie are rejoicing after a county-run elementary school learns it will keep its doors open to students next year. The Prince George's Board of Education voted to unanimously keep Pointer Ridge Elementary open. Beginning next academic year, the school will continue to serve Bowie students while also operating a regional autism center. The school district anticipates that the autism program will increase enrollment at the school by 80 to 85%. Pointer Ridge was initially set to close at the end of the academic year. Johns Hopkins medical facilities have brought back mandatory masking throughout Maryland due to an increase in hospitalizations from COVID, the flu, and RSV. Starting today, regardless of vaccination status, all patients, visitors, and staff have to wear face masks. Johns Hopkins says it anticipates the requirement will be in effect on a short-term basis while influenza-like illness rates are high. For masking to be discontinued, the Department of Health recommends watching until the numbers fall below 10 cases per 10,000 residents for 2 consecutive weeks.
Police arrest a man in connection with 6 armed robberies of taxi drivers. 24-year-old Francisco Chavez Ramirez of Hyattsville is being charged with 6 cases that occurred between January 4th and January 10th of 2024. Preliminary investigation reveals that Chavez Ramirez posed as a customer requesting a ride and then demanded money and property from the drivers. In one case, the suspect forced the victim to drive them to an ATM to take out additional money. Chavez Ramirez has admitted his involvement in all of the armed robberies.
Meantime, police have arrested and charged a Springdale man for the fatal shooting of his roommate. 38-year-old Richard Banaugh is being charged with manslaughter for the death of 27-year-old Dominique Scott Hayes. On January 10th, police responded to the 2800 block of Berrywood Lane, where they found the victim suffering from gunshot wounds and later pronounced dead on the scene. During their investigation, police determined Benos shot Hayes during a dispute. Anyone with information regarding this case is urged to contact police.
Well, 2023 was a year of extreme weather across the planet, from the hottest summer on record to Hurricane Idalia, which caused vast damage across Florida. And many weather events knew no borders. Massive wildfires in Canada reached regions of the U.S. that normally do not see impacts from the smoky fire season, including the D.C. area. So where does 2023 rank in the climate record? NASA just announced the latest global temperature data.
2023 was far and away the warmest year we've ever had in this temperature record. The record dates back to 1880, and so it's been just a really incredibly warm year. And actually, the last 10 years have been the 10 warmest years on record. July of 2023 was the warmest month that we've had. This past year, we saw the changes in air quality due to the fires up in Canada. So 18 million hectares burned there. That's the size of North Dakota, and all of that smoke came down and impacted us here in the East Coast.
And NASA is preparing to launch a new satellite called PACE, which stands for Plankton Aerosol Cloud Ocean Ecosystem. It's expected to shed new light on the health of our atmosphere and oceans. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Taylor Thomas. After the break, how one local community is honoring the Dr. King legacy.
Plus, it's Fitness Friday, keeping one of your New Year's resolutions. Those stories and more next.
This is the story of the American Cancer Society. A proven history of 110 years of wins in advocacy, research, and patient support. The story of how people don't have to face cancer alone. Because for 110 years, we have made significant progress against cancer together. Increasing our chances of survival by championing early detection tools and funding and conducting studies like the one that helped reduce smoking's deadly grip. Providing lifelines through patient support for people with cancer and those who love them. Like a home away from home for free. And helping make real change by raising all our voices to make cancer research a national priority. From day one, we believe that research can save lives. We have been committed to providing unwavering support, and we continue to stand up to achieve important policy change. Because we know that's how we can achieve quality cancer care that's equal for all. We are proud of our wins, but even more proud of the brave people that deal with cancer every day. And of all of you that support, donate, volunteer, and work to make it better for every cancer, every life. Now, let's keep making history together. Let's keep winning until we can end cancer as we know it for everyone.
Welcome back. Well, it was a day of service for students from Chelsea School in Hyattsville. Students chose to honor the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday with a free food and clothing giveaway at Driscoll Park Recreational Center. Organizers say the giveaways like this are the lifeline for so many in the community.
The need is so great. You know, we had the pandemic, the need got greater. Now the economy's in a really bad way. So we know that everybody has need, and God has blessed us with tremendous amounts of food to serve them, so why not, right?
Clothing, shoes, personal hygiene products, fresh produce. We also have hot food, we have hot chocolate, so we have a whole bunch of things for everybody. I am so full with joy. I don't even have any words.
Over 300 families were served.
Former Governor Larry Hogan steps down from leadership of a third-party movement known as No Labels. Now, No Labels is seeking ballot access across the country as it lays groundwork for a possible presidential ticket. Some see Hogan stepping down as preparation for a presidential run using the group's ballot line. Even though the moderate Republican has been highly critical of Donald Trump, some Democrats fear that Hogan could siphon votes that would otherwise go to President Joe Biden. Now, the No Labels group has obtained enough verified signatures to get on the ballot in Maryland. And the Biden administration plans to cancel debt for some federal student loan borrowers starting next month. The forgiveness was originally scheduled to go into effect in July, but now borrowers with a federal student loan balance of $12,000 or less who have been making payments for a decade or more can get the remaining balance wiped out. To be eligible, borrowers must be enrolled in the Saving on a Valuable Education, also known as SAVE plan. The Department of Education says currently 6.9 million borrowers are signed up for the plan.
Getting fit and staying active doesn't always mean being in a gym.
CTV's Mariah Jalad was in our studio today with a local fitness instructor to get some tips on a different kind of exercise.
Did you know that you can get fit while centering your mind, all from the comfort of your own space? Well, I'm here with JC Sadio of Niyami Yogi, and she's gonna get us warmed up and get us into our yogi flow.
Yoga is what you make it and how you want to move your body and become more flexible. So I always tell my students, be gentle with yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't compare yourself with anyone else. As we begin, let's just take a deep breath in here. Breathing is important because breath is life. So just take a deep breath in here. Let's raise that chest, make that chest proud. Sitting up tall, and then just exhaling it out here. You may not get the flexibility and that strength that you think you should have. So get out of your own head, get out of your own way, and know that eventually you'll get to where it is you want to be. You just have to be true to yourself, honor the practice, and then just move and flow.
Sadio practiced yoga for over 12 years for her own physical and mental wellness before she decided to become a yogi. Through learning yoga, she said that she found herself and she wanted to share that with her students.
If it's in your practice and that body is feeling it and you're feeling kind of spicy, Mariah, feel free to just go ahead and take those thumbs back just a little bit behind you, chest going up more towards the ceiling here.
You can visit JC's website for her virtual studio schedule or to book a personal class experience. Mariah Jalad, CTV News.
Well, you can find all those classes that Mariah was talking about at the website right there on your screen. Governor Wes Moore announces millions of dollars in grant money to address the state's nursing shortage. The Maryland Higher Education Commission's Nurse Support Program was awarded $2.8 million in grant money. The funding helps educators provide real-world nursing experience for students. Bowie State University and Prince George's Community College were two of the state's 18 places of higher education to receive the money. We have more news still to come.
That's right, plus our Friday sports page with Simon Buggs.
Hey there, sports fans, and coming up on your Friday sports page, a recap of some high school boys basketball games that were played last night, and a new era begins for the Washington Commanders. Stay tuned.
Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. Many of these animals are rescued from desolate conditions. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years. They help ensure that pets have a safe, warm shelter during times of need, especially during natural disasters. But pets need forever homes too. Adopting a shelter pet enriches the lives of one's family and allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work, including their efforts to rescue animals in need, certify the humane treatment of farm animals, help ensure the safety of animals on the silver screen, and protect our planet's amazing endangered species at AmericanHumane.org.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, the Maryland Cannabis Administration launches a new dashboard in an effort to promote transparency in the state's cannabis industry. The medical and adult use cannabis data dashboard will allow users to see the volume of marijuana sold, the number of plants that have been harvested, and what type of product people are purchasing the most. According to the data, sales totaled almost $800 million in 2023, with adult use making up the majority of the profits. It also shows that December was the highest grossing month since marijuana became legal, with $96 million in sales.
It was a record month for sports betting in Maryland. The Maryland Lottery and Gaming said December brought in over $6.5 million to the state's funds. The 13 retail and 12 mobile sports booking handled over $559 million in wages last month, with mobile sports betting bringing in $541 million. Maryland's sports wagering program was contributed more than $52 million to the blueprint for Maryland's future fund since its inception in 2021.
Hey there, sports fans. We begin your Friday sports page with some high school basketball news.
The Largo and Potomac High School boys basketball squads matched up last night, and some terrific plays were made over the course of the game. Beginning with some first quarter action, the game did start off close, but because of sequences like this made three-pointer by Lions shooting guard Jalen Johnson and this sweet block to prevent a Wolverines basket by forward Zion Dixon, the Lions' lead ballooned. Potomac was able to put up more points in the quarter, like this and-one bucket by a Wolverines player, but Largo ended the quarter up big, 32-9. Switching gears to the second quarter, the Lions continued to play well on both sides of the ball, and plays like this great rejection by Johnson and this alley-oop pass from guard Aiden Ash to forward Cam Ward. The Wolverines were able to put up some points in the quarter, like this second chance point layup by guard J-Ron Bahalano, but they were unable to call back in the game as they went into halftime down 56-15, and Largo will win the game 84-27.
Moving on to more high school basketball news, Bowie came out on top against High Point 81-49. Wise won their third game in a row, blowing out Northwestern 77-42. And finally, Laurel came away with a victory on the road, taking down Eleanor Roosevelt 70-58. Moving on to the NFL, the Washington Commanders make a big change to their front office as they have hired Adam Peters to be their next general manager. Peters, who was previously the assistant GM for the San Francisco 49ers, brings title contending experience to Washington, as the Niners have gone to 3 NFC Championship games as well as the Super Bowl during his tenure with the franchise. And wrapping up sports, the UMD men's basketball team came out on top last night against Michigan 64-57, and their next opponent will be Illinois on Sunday. And that is your Friday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. And now let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, we are expecting heavy rain and high winds, which could gust as high as 39 miles per hour with a low of 47. Now on Saturday, sunny and breezy with a high of 50.
There is a slight chance of snow showers between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Sunday. Temperatures reaching around 44 degrees, and MLK Day mostly cloudy with a chance of snow in the evening and a high of 35. That wraps up our CTV News Update. I'm Taylor Thomas.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. We are closed on Monday for the MLK holiday.
Join us again on Tuesday for more local news. Good night and stay dry.
Hi, I'm Morgan Fairchild, and I am a lifetime lover of animals. I've rescued every pet I've ever had, so I know firsthand that when you adopt a shelter pet and make them a member of your family, It not only enriches you and your family's lives, but that of your new pet's life as well. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.